Hi guys, it is 8 AM, day number 2. My alarm has gone off and all I want to do is press snooze and go back to sleep. But, nope, I'm getting up. I'm going to carry on with my commentary for episode 7, Game of Thrones season 1. And get myself a cup of tea and have myself a salmon and cream cheese bagel because being awake at 8 AM is a perfectly sensible time to be awake. Thank you all for watching. I will see you guys very soon. Showing, not telling, ha 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 ha, and the Breakfast of Kings. Hi guys, so it is nearly 1 o'clock on my day off. I have done quite a bit of tidying. My sister, actually I'll go show you, let's be active, why not, get out my big blanket, which I'm going to talk about in a moment anyway. So my sister made me and my housemate a spice rack from some wooden crating that she found, and my dad, I accidentally left it at home, so my dad came by to drop it off and I filled it up. So that was one of my little jobs today, was to tidy the kitchen and also fill up the homemade spice rack. Look at that! And we've got spices in the top and then a load of my housemaid stuff at the bottom. But yeah, my sister made this. It's all like glued and stapled together because she's awesome. I may paint it or I may just leave it as is. It's quite nice. Like she specifically left like the design at the front because she thought it was quite visually pleasing. So yeah, I did that. I've tidied the kitchen. It's very tidy right now. And yeah, I'm at the point in the day where I'm kind of struggling a little bit for stuff. Like I have butcher doctor's appointment, which I need to do because I don't know whether or not I mentioned this. In Japan, I got my first ever migraine. So fortunately, it was a day where we had the rental car. So basically, I was just in the back seat feeling awful for most of the day. But I booked a doctor's appointment to discuss that. So hopefully that won't happen again because it was miserable. And I've watched quite a bit of Game of Thrones. I've caught up on my YouTube. I finally watched all of Tor's April and March and April rewinds, which are amazing. Like it's one of those things where I'm like, yay, I can finally edit some videos. And I'll put together my Canada videos and I'll put together my Japan videos. And I'm like, I watch her videos and I'm like, they're so well edited and they look so fun and like energetic and well put together. I'm like, I don't even have footage that good. I just don't. So prepared to be disappointed by those videos in comparison to Tor's amazing videos. But I finally caught up on them. I've caught up on Philip DeFranco, so I'm slightly depressed about the world at large. I've watched a couple of other YouTube videos. I've been watching a lot of Game of Thrones costume analysis videos, which I started watching a while ago and it popped up again in my YouTube like suggested because Game of Thrones is out. And so I've been watching a load of that. Has been my kind of classic thing. I'm listening to the commentaries for season 1. Which is how I've been re-watching season 1, so any episode that has a commentary, I've been watching it with commentary, so you get the visuals, but you also get like the fun overlay, and then I also, like if they don't have commentary, I just watch it normally. So I'll be doing that. I've paid some bills, I've made my bed, I've put away some laundry, and I'm at the point now, I've tried and I've failed to plan my weekend, so I misread the rotas. So when I went on holiday, the rotas hadn't been written for me coming back to work yet, because it was quite a long turnover and we had a holiday in the middle where we broke for Easter. So the guy in my department who writes our schedules hadn't written very far ahead, but he told me that my first shift back would be a Wednesday late, and that was significant because, as I said yesterday, usually I don't work Wednesday evenings because that's my D&D day. So that was the only day that I knew of. I knew that my first day back was the Wednesday, which was the first day. The 1st of April, I'm back on a late shift for Wednesday, and that's the only shift I knew. So I came back into work completely blind as to my next couple of shifts. And I looked at the rota and I'm off today. great. And then I completely misread the rotas after that. Completely misread the rotas. So I was starting to plan for this weekend because I was like, that's amazing. I've only been back one day and then I've got the weekend off. What is this madness? And it turns out it wasn't mad. I'm just not very good at reading rotas and read them in completely the wrong order. So I've got the next month's worth of scheduling and I was planning stuff for this weekend when this weekend I'm working. So I've tried and I failed to organise something for that. So we'll see that as it pans out. But yes, so I've done a lot of like little organisational things. I've tidied my room. Yesterday I was so tired when I got home. I left all my clothes all over the bathroom floor. So I've done a lot of tidying. There was a load of when I packed to go to Japan, I separated out all my when we were in Japan, we were travelling around so much, we went all over the island. So I packed my backpack very specifically, my big rucksack, so that all of my underwear was in one bag, like little plastic bag, and all of my tops were in another plastic bag, and all of my dresses were in another plastic bag, because we weren't going to ever really unpack properly, because it's no more than maybe 2 nights in one place. So everything had to go back into the backpack, and that was actually very, very useful, because not only were we only in one place for a day or two, but we did a lot of communal rooms, like hostel rooms, and we did one capsule hotel, and those are very small, tight spaces where your rucksack kind of is in your sleeping space, and as someone who's always the amount of stuff that I sleep with on my bed, I have my laptop on my bed, I usually have when I was a kid, I always used to lay out my clothes for the next morning on top of my sheets, and when I was at uni, I'd fall asleep with books all over my bed. The number of times I've fallen asleep with the books all over my bed. So I'm used to my bed being populated by stuff. So when it's in these little communal spaces where the only space that's yours is your bed, it was very useful to have a backpack that I could just reach in and grab all of my clean tops, and I could rummage through that bag, pick out a clean top and then put it back in my bag, and it was kind of like portable drawers. But now I've unpacked my bags, I had all these plastic bags that I've had to re-tidy up. That's the most boring thing I could possibly talk about, my gosh. Basically I've had a very boring, very slow morning, and I'm right at the point where I'm starting to crash and run out of little jobs to do. I think the only thing left for me to do is I'm going to sew some buttons back onto my coat, and I'm going to pay a bill. And because I'm reaching that point, I'm starting to crash a little bit. It's gotten cold, it's just starting to rain a little bit. So I'm snuggling up in my lovely blanket that I adore, which has got deer and partridges and stuff on it, and it's so warm and so snuggly, and I'm just sat in my bed watching stuff, and I feel like if I were to roll sideways while snuggled up in this duvet, I would just fall asleep, and I don't want to do that. So and I don't want to go outside because it's raining and miserable, but I'm going to see what I can do. And again, with the talking and not showing, but I'm going to put on my web camera while I sew the buttons on my coat, carry on watching Game of Thrones, have myself another cup of tea, and then we'll see what the afternoon leads to. Yeah, I'm working through my jobs faster than I want to, and once I work through my jobs, I don't know what I'm going to do. So yeah, day 2, and it's already a struggle. Yeesh. See you soon. Haven't seen you in bloody ages. I'm going to have to speak up because I know the audio is not great. I'm shouting. I've got my cup of Vancouver tea, aka English breakfast tea, but this is one of my larger mugs and I wanted one that was large. Yes, hello, I'm going to be sewing my coat. My coat, which it's a good coat. I've had it for bloody ages. I've had it for, only about 2.5 years. I bought it just before starting my old job. And the week that I bought it, 3 buttons came off. So I've resewn the buttons several times. And then while I was in Canada, I remember another button or 2 coming off. So I've readjusted the buttons a couple of times. And while I was in Japan, 2 more buttons came off. So I've got to resew the buttons. Also, I've resewn the lining of the sleeves, so you can see all my rubbish, kind of messy stitching there. I did that a couple of months ago, but then some more of the lining is starting to break out. I just spilled tea on me, it was hot. Luckily I'm wearing dark colours. Yes, there's more lining going there, which should not be a hole there. And the inside of one of the pockets is gone as well. Not the one with gloves in it, although the gloves can come out. Hop. It's the other pocket. It's the other pocket. That makes sense. Oh, my legs are very wet now. Wet with wet tea. Yes, so the lining of the pocket needs re-sewing. So I'm going to put on the commentary for Game of Thrones, and then you guys get to watch like a fast version of me slowly sewing my coat back together. It's a shame because it's a really nice coat. Like it's good. It's a nice cut. It fits really well. You can like the way the buttons are. You can button it all the way up to the neckline and not be like too militaristic, but also like just let it loose and wild. It's really cool. It's quite a long coat, but you can still bike in it. It's a really good coat. It's just a real pain in the butt to maintain, it turns out. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this slice of life, me drinking tea and probably spilling more on my legs. It's wet. Yeah, here we go. Staying awake by staying busy. See you guys ongoing, because I'm just going to let this video play. I'm great at vlogging concisely. Got my buttons back on. This one's a bit wobbly, and this one's not one of the ones that I repaired today. I think that might be, like, it's actually the same cotton thread as the rest of the coat, which makes me think it's the only button that hasn't come off this coat. So we'll see how long that one lasts, since I bought it. And then I fixed that seam there, and that's my old stitching for the thing that I talked about earlier, and I fixed the inside of the pocket. So my coat is now my coat again, going into summer, where hopefully I won't need it too much. But that's a job done. I've still got another half an episode left to go. That only took me like maybe 15 minutes, so yay! I've got to kill some more time. But I'm going to go make myself some noodles for lunch. And then the sun has come out, so I'm going to go on a mini mission to post some stuff and go from there. Day no longer. My entire life in a nutshell. I have a very boring life. This is not going to be an interesting set of videos. But there we go. See you later. Maybe, who knows, if I film something interesting. Who knows? I'm about to go out and actually do stuff, but it's just... It's raining. It's raining a lot. Yeesh. So I remember something I need to do today. Normally I wouldn't film outdoors, but I'm in my village at the moment, the village I grew up in, and it's a nice little quiet country road, and even though there are plenty of cars within sight right now, I don't think anyone could care less that I was talking to my camera, so I'm going to talk to my camera as I walk and see how long I can keep that going. It is like the weather keeps passing over between incredibly heavy rain and like this sort of rain, which isn't too bad. So I got lucky with my walking bit. Hopefully I can get to the place I'm going without getting too wet. We shall see. Nice little country track. Whee! So I had to park a little way away because there's no parking near where I'm going. But there we go. And turning off. So, I just walked around a corner and met an entire family with a baby and a mother and father and presumably grandparents, and they were like, "We just love your outfit. You look, the whole ensemble's amazing." And I was like, "I don't have to respond." So it's raining a bit heavier again, and I've done it. And I was hoping for like a big reveal, and they'd give me a "I voted" sticker, and then I remembered that I'm in England and we never give stickers away if we can avoid it. But I voted. Local elections are today. That was the thing that I was going to do today, and I completely forgot to do. But I've now done it. So I came back to my home village because I'm still registered here. I've only moved like 2 miles out into my flat. Still registered here, and a child is looking at me through a window. This is why I like talking to a camera. Yeah, so it's raining, and I voted. So yay, go vote in your local elections, because they're the ones that have the biggest impact. And you know, research and do all those things. It's very good. And go out despite the weather, because even if the weather is miserable, it's getting heavier again. It's worth doing, and you'll feel good for doing it, and then at least if something goes wrong you can say that you at least participated, like you had input, you had your say. So yeah, I've done that. That's a success. Also, because of so it's hosted out of an old church. It's an abandoned church, but that's where the voting ballots were held, because it's like a local building, a local public building. Blimey, it's getting much heavier. Because of where it was placed, it turned out I did have a car park. I thought the car park would be unavailable, that's why I parked all the way out here. But because of the where it was located, it was past a road that's quite difficult to cross. I'm trying to find my keys. And so I had to walk a long way around to get to the traffic lights, because otherwise it would have been quite dangerous. There we go. And let's get to my car and out of the sight of the public. Oh gosh, that little boy watching me from the window is why I don't like
200 years. It's been the home of
turning my radio on. Don't like vlogging outdoors. Let me take my backpack off. Oh god, there's a car coming. Yep, there was a car coming. Anywho, voting done. I'm going to go shopping, and I'm going to go home and I'm going to cook myself some nice dinner. But in the meantime, I'm going to stop vlogging in public because I'm so embarrassed about it. Hi guys, so I just cooked myself some spaghetti bolognese, which I just ate. Bolognese, oh, so steamy. I'm doing what I did in uni, where I never really learnt, like when I was a kid, you never made your meals for yourself. So if you volunteered to make dinner a night, then you made it for the whole family. So I never really got used to making portions for a single person. I always make portions enough for 5. That's my default. So I made a massive portion of bolognese. I had 1 portion with spaghetti because that's traditional. And then I'm intending to fridge that all down. It's currently cooling. And once it's a little bit cooler, I'll put it in the fridge. And then maybe tonight, but probably after my early shift on Sunday, which means I can shoot 2. Maybe tomorrow morning, we'll see. But I'll fridge it down for now. I might freeze it if I don't think I'm going to get time to do it properly. But basically, at some point I will warm that bolognese back up, add some wine, add some aubergine, and then I'll use it as a lasagna mix. So I'll make myself several, I'll probably make myself 1 big tray of lasagna, and then I'll portion that up into Tupperware so I can have it again and again and again, because I really do like lasagna. Lasagna's probably my go-to thing if I'm like I like me some salad. Don't get me wrong, I like me some salad, but like my go-to comfort food is like lasagna. And you know, if you've got the pre-made bolognese, it's really easy to make. So you just kind of, you know, tray it up. The only thing to make is the white sauce, which is just milk, butter and flour, so easy. So yeah, that's my plan. So I've made enough portions that I can divide it up and hopefully have 1 meal's worth and then a couple of other meals worth as and when. Yeah, I don't cook a lot. I'm one of those people that I just find it easier to like pop a ready meal in. Most of the time, like most days traditionally, if I'm working, I have only 2 meals a day and I have both of those at work. If I'm on an early shift, I'll have breakfast and lunch at work, and it'll be a late lunch. So I usually will just have like a snack or a cup of tea for dinner. And then if I'm on a late shift, I usually don't get up with enough time to have breakfast, so I'll have lunch and dinner at work and that'll be it. So I very rarely need to cook at home. Like 5 days out of the week I eat my meals at work. And then usually on my days off, as this whole thing is teaching me, so usually on my days off I'd sleep through breakfast for definite all the time, normally allocated to breakfast, and my first meal of the day will be lunch and then dinner. So I usually only have about 2 meals a day, which is not to say that I am by any means underfed, I just tend to only have 2 meals a day. The thing with this whole resetting my sleep schedule thing is that suddenly I'm awake for a lot longer consistently during the day, which means that I need to work out how to do 3 meals a day, because I'm not used to that. And also this month, which is something that I don't know if I mentioned yet, but I'm also doing not a full no-buy month, but I'm just being really careful not to be extravagant with any of my purchasing this month, because I spent a lot of money going to Japan, flights, food, accommodation, which, you know, it was a reasonable amount to spend, and I think I did Japan really, like, I did a lot in Japan. I feel like I can say that as an enjoyable experience as it was, I probably don't want to go back again, in that I feel like I've done everything I need to do in Japan. It was lovely, and I'm sure, you know, there's always more to do, but I feel satisfied that I don't need to go back. But it was a lot of money, so I am not spending too much money this month, or trying not to, as well as trying to sort out my sleep schedule, and also it turns out having to work out how to have 3 meals a day on a budget. Who'd have thunk it? But there we go. Yes, so that was my project for the afternoon. It is now 7:20 in the evening. I've got 1 more episode of Game of Thrones Season 1 left to watch, and I've got 1 or 2 things left to do. So I've got to kill like another 3 hours and then I go to sleep. What to do with life? I've had a walk. In fact, of my 5 a day, so going back to ages ago I talked about my 5 a day, the 5 things I try and do in a day is exercise, which I think I can do because I did my walk around the village, because I had to find some traffic lights in order to cross back over. So I did a short walk. I might need to do something a little bit more exercisey before the end of the night, but I'm going to temporarily say that's at least a half done. exercise, something creative, and I count making dinner as something creative because I very rarely cook, as I said, but I'll count it. I might do something else by and by. Something creative, something for the housework, I've definitely ticked that one off. I have tidied my bedroom, I have tidied the kitchen, I have checked the bathrooms, and I need to get the laundry out of the machine. That can be my next job. So I've definitely done that. Something social or proactive in terms of social life, or something that will mean I free up for social life. So I've been chatting to some friends on Discord. As I said, I tried and I failed to organise something for this weekend because I'm working this weekend. And reading, which I will definitely do before bed because I've got several books on the go at the moment. So I think I've completed my 5 a day. Yay! And I've got 4 hours of watching Game of Thrones, getting my laundry out of the washing machine to kill before the end of the day. So what is this thing? Getting up and filling the day with things. Yeah. Woo. Oh, I sewed my coat as well. That's a definite creative. Okay, creative. Fully ticked off. This is going to be such a long vlog. This is why I shouldn't do day in the life vlogs. Anywho, I may do another video before the end of the night. Who knows? Bye. Hey guys, the day has ended. It is 10:15. I'm feeling distinctly sleepy. So I'm going to start my wind down, mug of hot water, brush my teeth, all of that jazz. And I don't think I'm going to have any difficulty falling asleep. So, yay! Yeah. It's going to be a pain to edit. I'm sorry it's going to be such a long video, but there we go. Day 2 done. God, only 2 days in. Thank you for watching, and this has been kind of like a day in the life. I've actually filmed, like, stuff consistently throughout the day. What? Anyway, I'm going to go to sleep. Well, I'm going to edit this first, and then I'm going to go to sleep. Bye for now. Day in the life. Woo!